restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you to come and see me.
Hey there, it's Cookies, and Silent Hill 2 is a masterpiece. So is the remake. There's more than enough context on this site regarding Pyramid Head's origins and the duality between himself and the character of James Sunderland. What if I told you there's a part of Pyramid Head that most people overlook in their first, second, third, even 10th playthrough? Pop a squat, grab that Cliff Bar, and let's dive into the unknown of Pyramid Head, one of horror games' most misunderstood creatures. If this is your first time here, be sure to like and subscribe, or dislike and describe why Pyramid Head has the finest moves this side of the Milky Way. To understand its mindset, first, we have to recap the history of Pyramid Head in the Silent Hill mythology. Now, Red Pyramid Thing, also known as Pyramid Head, is a humanoid monster in the Silent Hill franchise, first appearing in Silent Hill 2, and unfortunately in other titles he kinda sorta didn't belong. His red helmet and butcher's attire echo the executioners of towns past, who worship the powers within the town for what they could bring to the people, many of which you can see deep within the Toluca Lake prison and Otherworld Labyrinth sections, late in the game. The monster wields the Great Knife and can also wield the Great Spear as their weapons of choice. But for what it matters, Pyramid Head himself doesn't get a fancy intro of sorts, especially one where you would think that such a beloved creature in the horror community would get. I mean, all things considered, he blends in plain sight with such an unsettling intro. Something feels off here. Prior to this instance, every monster tries to kill James, but not Pyramid Head. My guy stares beyond bars sticking out of the ground. Keep this in mind as we'll return here later. Now, if you have not experienced Silent Hill 2, I am going to spoil some major revelations, and not the movie with the stupid-ass Pop-Tart jump scare. Now is your chance to go experience the game before I ruin what is arguably one of the greatest twists in gaming. Alright, let's go. Now, we all know the monster James faces is psychological based. Early on, the mission is set as James returns to Silent Hill due to a letter his wife sent him, the same wife who died of a disease 3 years prior. In said letter, it references their special place, which puts James in such a bewildered mindset, as no one else would know this. So he journeys through the town to find his loved one once more. By the end game, the rug is pulled from underneath as a lone videotape in the hotel on the lake shows James himself killed his wife. Reasons for this are many, and the act itself is not so black and white. It's not entirely selfless or selfish. James hated seeing the pain Mary went through, but at the same time he was burdened by his lustful desires and the life he was losing out on. The true reasoning for his act being contingent on the actions players made throughout the game, all of which is paired with intervals of Pyramid Head rolling into the game. Think of him like an interactive Rorschach test that actually can bust your ass in real time. The first instance is the one mentioned prior as he stands watching James, not to fight, but to observe. And it's interesting to note the first monster James encounters in this game gets a fantastical cutscene here. However, Pyramid Head doesn't, and he is the biggest creature from this game. Something to keep in the back of your mind until later. The second time sees James hiding from Pyramid Head as he works on shoving mannequins down a garbage disposal unit. We pop some rounds in him, and instead of wrecking us, he walks off as to invite us further down this rabbit hole, this sense of madness. Near the end of the apartments, we finally get to square up with Pyramid Head. After some frantic gamer skills, the guy decides to let us be. This moment is important. We haven't been able to kill Pyramid Head, but it seems really invested in us. Almost confused and frustrated even as we try to sucker punch him with his back turned because I didn't hear no bell. As if he's studying us. Again, more on that later. We don't see Pyramid Head now for a while, until the hospital, where we partner with an erotic dancer by the name of Maria, chasing a little girl throughout the hospital. Pyramid Head goes and does his thing to straight up murder Maria, leaving us in the elevator as we ascend alone.
There! An elevator! Come on, hurry!
Forcing James to reflect on losing another life in front of him, just like his previous wife. Further along, James goes into an abandoned prison where we see where Pyramid Head lives, and again he stares at us through the bars, further evaluating us, stalking us, and not even hiding it at this time. This time, if we are on his way, my man will throw hands. Only to chase us through a long hallway surrounded by suppressed desires, which is funny as we later get to use his own weapon to carve a path forward, up until our final encounter with him, where he decides to 2v1 us with a second Pyramid Head, yes, a second fucking Pyramid Head, and fight to the death with the knowledge of who James is as a person.
James!
Leave her alone! Leave us both the hell alone! I know what you are. I know why I needed you. But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore. I'm ready.
The opening of this game is fascinating. It's a reflection of James looking at himself in such a lost state, looking for answers, searching for answers to who he is and what he did. as if he is lost with why events transpired the way they have. Every instance with Pyramid Head is a reflection of James, but more than simply his inner psyche, even though if you type in the internet, who is Pyramid Head, that is where the kind of conversation tends to end. Yes, Pyramid Head is loosely tied to the executioners of the past in the town, but it's not like James simply wanted to die, otherwise Home Dude would lay down and call it a day. He's not serving solely the role of the executioner in this story. Pyramid Head himself is confused. He's observing James from the get-go, and in many cases, the beings he kills go down quickly, as evident by the amount of corpses in certain areas, almost like Pyramid Head is attempting to suppress such vile thoughts. But not James. I may make a wild comment here, but in some twisted sense, Pyramid Head might be the only selfless character in Silent Hill 2. He tries to bring death to James, but James declines. Pyramid Head tries to bring suffering. James isn't satisfied. Suppression of thoughts, but James dives in further. Almost like the famous meme where the guy's trying to ask his girlfriend what she wants to eat for dinner.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
I have to go.
He reminds James of what he's running from. His memory. Even at the end of the line, Pyramid Head has James outnumbered, but takes their own lives. Providing James the ability to reunite with his Mary Maria one last time. Not as an act of defeat, but a symbolic reminder of the day both James and Mary died 3 years ago. Fandom have questioned why there are 2 Pyramid Heads in this part of the scene, in which the main idea is because of the number of people James has killed. First was his wife Mary, and later on in the story is Eddie in self-defense, which we all know how that went. However, I have another view. Early in the game, you can enter this lone barber shop, and the only thing there is a note underneath a pair of scissors referencing the Pyramid Head. Later on, if you recall, there is a scene where we get to use Pyramid Head's weapon, which isn't actually a great knife or a giant knife, but half of the pair of scissors. The same set of scissors James wants to use to cut ties with his past, even though a part of him doesn't want to let go of Mary. And that part is Pyramid Head. Yes, Pyramid Head is a manifestation of James. We get it. He serves purposes akin to an executioner who's providing a semblance of justice to the prisoner. These analogies make sense in the context of the town, but Pyramid Head is that semblance of truth and valor James refuses to let go of, in spite of being a prisoner of his own actions that he struggles to forgive himself for. Better yet, that compass that guides him to realizing the full context of his decisions. Pyramid Head is that sense of verdict, the vindication for an act James struggles to rationalize, which is what makes the story of Silent Hill 2 captivating. When gamers talk about games as art, it's ideas like this that come to fruition that not even a film or a book can really manifest. Pyramid Head is a manifestation of James's desire for torment. And here's the thing. Pyramid Head is beloved by the horror community despite having such minimal screen time. All of this talk in this case study thus far, Pyramid Head has maybe 30 minutes of runtime across the game that is anywhere between 8 to 20 hours of gameplay. There's many things Pyramid Head is to the world and town of Silent Hill. You can see it in the historical context of the Silent Hill society. But for James himself, it is that willingness to accept the truth. The pain, the guilt, the memories, both good and bad, and the reason. That is the part of Pyramid Head the internet tends to overlook. A being whose sum of its parts far outweigh the whole. For anyone that's gone through a traumatic experience in their life, it is difficult when you go through all these stages of grief and torment. And while Pyramid Head is on that adventure with James throughout the journey, trying to discover what he really wants, it is that reflection of James' mindset. Does he want to remember? Does he want to forget? Does he want to move on? Can he move on? Does he want to come to terms with what happened? Does James want to move on? Does he want to forget? Does he want to live in denial? Does he want to accept the truth? Does he want to make things better? Does he want to take back what he's done? What does he want? All of that is settled by the player, and it's guided by Pyramid Head.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I told you. I wanted the pain to end.
I can't forgive myself for what I've done. But that's not why I did it. The truth is, I hated you. I can't go on without you. I wanted my life back. I miss you so much.
Then why do you look so sad?
I am so sorry.
I've always been waiting for you.
Come on, we need to finish packing. James, honey, did something happen?
Oh, no, it's fine. Everything's fine.